Nio Inc. has closed at 628, guys, getting back within a little bit of a resistance zone after finding that $6 level as some nice support once again. Question is, are we going to squeeze out here, continuing this breakout level move? How buyers have shown us time and time again that we are ready to continue moving to the upside, or sellers finally get to find that little bit of rejection that they've been needed to bring stock back down, looking for a pullback. So we're going to be analyzing today, guys, see what we should be expecting with Nio stock. All right, guys, on the weekly time frame, so what we are looking at here are these descending triangle patterns. We've gotten in this first descending triangle pattern leading to around 100% breakout to the upside, marked around that 770 being that high. Then we go back down a long-term descending triangle. Within that long-term descending triangle, we see a smaller triangle-like pattern. Break out of that, the next day break out of this long-term one. It leads us to a run up roughly around that 520 being that high, kind of getting a pennant range. So we see a obvious flag and pull like range. We break out of that very nicely as well, leading to a stronger breakout than last time, really, from this long-term descending range. And we do reach highs around that $6 level. So what we're seeing here, guys, are these nice volatile moves, breaking these obvious resistances, a little bit of chop, continuation, little bit of chops, very small pullback, and we see buyers stepping in once again. So price is being pretty predictable here, guys. We're seeing these nice volatile moves to the upside, breaking a very important resistance zone here, stemming off that $770 level and that descending triangle pattern, which is giving us a lot of momentum. As we saw in the last descending triangle, did around 100% move to the upside. So what we see here is a pennant-like range, so obvious support, obvious resistance. Somebody has to win the battle, buyers win that battle, stemming off that breakout level momentum, leading us to a further move to the upside. We reclaim and get past that $6 psychological level. And once again, we see a little bit of a hold up here, but instead of a pullback, right, a normal textbook pullback would be a nice movement to the upside. And then from that big, nice movement to the upside, you would see stock retrace a bit, trying to find a new zone and some new support. Instead, guys, we're seeing stock go up, kind of chop around, find a range, break out, buyers win the battle, go up, very volatile, nice move. We're finding a range, we're kind of chopping, we're not seeing a drastic pullback. We're more or less chopping around, kind of feeling out the buyers and sellers are battling for that possessive control, and the buyers are winning these battles. So most likely what you'd expect is we're kind of messing around here. Buyers will break up, test that 770 being that high of this descending triangle. And if we could break through that very cleanly, right, you could be seeing something similar where we kind of chop around like we've been seeing once here, twice here. You could be seeing that continuation to those other psychological dollar levels, like that $9 level, etc. So we're in a pretty nice spot for Nio here. We have broken a very important resistance here, as we saw in the past, guys. Got a very nice movement to the upside after that movement here. But instead, this was very, very volatile, and it was quick. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of price action. Instead here, guys, we're seeing a stronger move, and buyers continuing to show us over time that they are the strong dominant force. We see 3 weeks of price action with a nice volatile move up. We see a few weeks kind of getting in this pennant. We see a very nice breakout in 1 week. And then we're seeing the same thing, right? A few weeks of kind of testing out, getting within these ranges, looking for that continued movement to the upside. So like what I'm seeing here, guys. Now on the daily chart, we see that perspective of that first kind of flag and pull, more like a pennant, right? We see that longer, kind of dragged out pennant type of structure. So this was the first descending triangle we broke out of, long term, 770 being the top. And we're kind of messing around here, very, very volatile. But then within this newer triangle-like pattern, we see that price starts to chill out a bit. And we see the tightest price action we've seen on Nio really in a very, very long time. That leads to somebody has to win. The support level is holding up very strong at 338. We're meeting up with the shorter term resistance, and now we break through that, and we meet up with this long-term resistance from that 770 level. Break through that. That leads us to a very nice move to the upside. If we're marking that out, kind of where we had that tight range. Did around a 40% movement. So very nice move right there, guys. And then we get in this pennant chop range where we have gotten tested. So the buyers and sellers are feeling each other out. Right, buyers try to break prematurely here once, twice. Sellers really try to yank stock down, breaking through that support, breaking through that 446 for a bit. You see that buying pressure right here. You see that green wide bar shifting momentum, pressing the top of this resistance. And then we see that breaking continuation, guys, all the way to that $683 level. Very monstrous breakout, very monstrous continuous breakout. And we're seeing buyers continue to win these fights. Now, more recently, we've seen another kind of pennant structure like form. And we saw that sellers try to yank us back down, but buyers did break out here. We could be seeing price really drag out here, getting within a longer term pennant like structure, and then looking for that move to the upside. So kind of like we saw right here. Could have been a short-term move, but it's looking like we are gearing up for a little bit of a nice move out either within the next few trading days. And we do see that sellers try to break that support as of recently of $6. But once again, guys, the buyers step in when they have to step in, kind of reminiscing over here when sellers try to make their move, and we stepped in very nicely. seeing something similar, right? We step in, reclaim that support level, and we step in with a very nice green wide bar, showing that the buyers were in that ultimate control for the majority of the day. Once you see a solid bar like that with no real top wick or lower wick, really shows that buyers were in that ultimate control. So very nice to see here. Nice reaction to when the sellers try to yank this stock downwards. And we are still building up within a pennant-like structure. We could also be seeing price kind of build up a little bit more, creating a longer-term pennant-like structure, kind of like we saw right here in the past. Either way, guys, as long as we are above that $6 level, we are looking very nice here to the upside with that price target of 770. Then our next medium-term price target would be that $9 level, really being around that 920, that being the more prominent resistance that you'd be seeing after that 770. All right, guys, on the hourly, we see that obvious resistance kind of forming here. So stemming off that 683, we see that price is kind of battling. See a little bit of descending support here. We can mark that out. That was a pretty obvious level right here, guys. If we're stemming off this movement, see some obvious support level get created here, descending. So we're in a little bit of a channel going on here, guys, a little bit of a channel. But what we also see is that buyers are pushing stock upwards. We're holding higher. We're not really ping-ponging around as much. We did see that premature break right here, and stock's kind of messing around at the bottom of that range. But as of recently, we're getting slightly less volatile. Volume is kind of drying up given to what it was. And then we're looking for that break right here. Does a breakout have to happen this week? Absolutely not. It can, right? Nio is a very explosive stock. We're in a very nice bullish kind of movement for the stock. But even if we are kind of just battling back and forth for a bit of time, creating new resistance, that's still a nice sign, guys. Just make sure we stay above that $6 level. So that's all I got for you guys for Nio today. Let me know your price targets in the comments below. Where you guys seeing this thing going short term as well as long term? I appreciate all you guys watching to the end of the video. If you want to see more Nio content, make sure to like and subscribe. As always, guys, trade smart. I'll see you all in the next one.